Introduction. Welcome to the United Nations Police English Language Assessment. This assessment consists of two parts, the reading comprehension and the audio comprehension. The instructions to both parts will be clearly explained before we commence. The use of any computer devices, microphones, books, external notes, or assistance from others is not permitted. We expect full compliance and good conduct during this test. Any candidates who fail to observe appropriate conduct will be excluded from the assessment process, and the incident will be communicated in writing to the authorities of the member state concerned and to the SAAT coordinator in the UN Police Division. Part 1 is the reading comprehension. You will be given a mission-related story with a question and answer sheet which contains 10 questions related to the key facts of the story. You will also be given a blank sheet of paper for your note-taking. Any notes that you take on the blank sheet you are allowed to keep throughout the exam. Read the text very carefully. You may write on the test as you wish. You will not be graded for any marking made on the test itself, only on the question and answer sheet. After reading the test, answer the 10 questions on the question and answer sheet. Be sure to include the entire key fact in your answer. It is not necessary to write in grammatically complete sentences. It is highly recommended that you use the blank sheet of paper for important notes from the reading. These notes will be essential for Part 2 of the assessment. You will be able to keep only the sheet of paper with your notes for the second part of the exam. Keep the test and question and answer sheet face down until you are asked to start. You will have 20 minutes to complete the reading comprehension. The instructor will indicate when these 20 minutes begin. The instructor will then announce when there are 5 remaining minutes and when there is 1 final minute. After the 20 minutes have passed, the instructor will collect the reading test and the question and answer sheet. You will keep the written notes that you made on the blank sheet of paper for the second part of the assessment. Please write your full name, your individual test serial number, and other details clearly in the space provided on the question and answer sheet you receive. Good luck. Introduction. This is the second section of the UNPOL Combined Language Assessment. It is divided into 2 parts. In the first part, you will hear one person describing the mission-related topic you have just read about in the reading comprehension. It will be introduced as the narrative. In the second part, you will hear a conversation between 2 people who are discussing the same mission-related topic. It will be introduced as the dialogue. Please be reminded that the use of any computer devices, microphones, books, external notes, or assistance from others is not permitted. Candidates who fail to observe appropriate conduct during this test will be excluded from the assessment process. Such actions will be duly noted and communicated in writing to the authorities of the member state concerned and to the SAAT coordinator in the UN Police Division. You will be given a report writing form and another blank sheet of paper. Take careful notes on the blank sheet of paper of both the narrative and the dialogue. Pay attention to the important facts and key information. You will hear the recording only one time. Once the narrative and dialogue are finished, you will be asked to use your notes from both the reading and the audio parts to write down your own complete police report. You will have 30 minutes to complete your police report. The instructor will indicate when these 30 minutes begin. The instructor will then announce when there are 5 minutes remaining and when there is 1 final minute. Please do not forget to write your full name, your individual test serial number, and other details clearly in the spaces provided on the report writing sheet. Good luck. Narrative.
Referring to the case of shooting at 59 Stadium Street on 14 March 2005, Police Patrol Team Alpha Bravo 1 knocked on the door of the neighboring house. After approximately 10 minutes, an elderly woman, namely Gordana Basic, opened the door. She said that initially she did not want to open the door because she was afraid of the gunfire in the vicinity of her house. She stated that she lived alone as her husband had been killed last year, and her son was in Austria with his family now. The police officers introduced themselves, and the woman invited them in. Gordana stated that approximately at 12:30 hours, when cooking lunch, she heard a car stop on the road between her and Branko Ilić's house. She looked through the window curtains and saw a black car with 3 men in it. They were calling for the neighbor. Gordana saw all 3 of them clearly when they got out of the car. They all had a muscular build and were all in black uniforms with Black Panther emblems on their sleeves. 2 were wearing black hats, while the third one did not, but instead his gray hair was visible. One of the men wearing a hat had a distinctly strong accent while he spoke. Branko replied that he did not want to talk to them and told them to go away. The visitors ordered him to come with them to repair their vehicles, otherwise they would kill him. A few minutes later, she heard 2 shots coming from Branko's house. Those 3 men returned fire, and she heard her neighbor, Branko, screaming. When the gunfire ended, she stated that she saw those men placing Branko into the trunk of their car. He seemed unconscious, and Gordana also noticed that he was wounded and that his right shoulder was bleeding. The car departed, and the witness was sure that they had driven towards the airport. Gordana thought that those perpetrators wanted Branko to repair their vehicles because he was a good automobile mechanic, which he refused to do. The witness added that for the last 3 months, unknown armed people in uniforms had been looting the nearby houses and terrorizing the Serbian neighborhood. She also informed that her neighborhood was scared and felt insecure because they did not believe the local authorities, including the police, could protect them. She knew that some families had already fled the area and gone to Serbia seeking shelter with their relatives. The Alpha Bravo 1 team leader reported the received details to the duty officer at the police station and assured Gordana that UN and KFOR would be patrolling the area more frequently. Dialogue.
UN Police Patrol Team Leader. Good afternoon, madam. Frankly speaking, we didn't expect anybody to open their door to us. We are the UN Police Patrol and came here because of the shooting we heard right near your house. Would you mind talking about it?
witness. I was scared. That's why I did not want to open up. But please come in. We can talk.
Thank you, madam. Could you tell me something about yourself?
I am Gordana Bashir. I am 60 years old. I was born here and I've been living here all my life.
Do you live here alone?
Yes. My husband was killed last year, and my son, with his wife and 2 kids, left 5 years ago. They are living in Austria now.
Okay. What happened today?
I was cooking lunch when I heard a car stop on the road between my house and Branko's. It was approximately 12:30 hours.
Did you look outside?
Of course I did. I took a look through the window curtains and saw a black car and 3 men in it calling out for Branko. I could see them when they got out of the car.
So, what did they look like?
All 3 of them had a muscular build and were in black uniforms with a black panther on their sleeves. 2 were wearing black hats, while the third one was not. He had grey hair. One of the men wearing a hat was shouting to Branko in Serbian, but he had a distinctly strong accent.
What caused the shooting?
The visitors wanted Branko to go with them, but he didn't want to talk to them or join them. He told them to leave. They started threatening him, but Branko seemed to shoot at them twice.
What do you think those people wanted from your neighbor?
Branko is a good automobile mechanic. I guess they wanted him to repair their vehicles.
Did the 3 men return fire?
Yes, it looked that way. I heard 5 shots followed by Branko screaming. They stopped shooting, entered the house, and in a few minutes they were outside with Branko, who could hardly move. I also saw his right shoulder bleeding.
Did the visitors take him with them?
Yes, they opened the trunk of their car and dropped him in there. He seemed unconscious.
Did you notice where they drove to?
I am sure they drove toward the airport. It is the only good road here.
Have you seen those uniformed people before?
I'm not sure, but unknown armed people in uniforms have been looting in the nearby villages and terrorizing the Serbian neighborhood for the last 3 months. The neighborhood is scared and feels insecure because they don't believe the local authorities, including police, can protect them. I know that some families have already fled the area and gone to Serbia seeking shelter with their relatives.
Thank you very much for your assistance. I will report the security situation in your area, and I'm sure that the presence of international forces will be increased here through a greater number of patrols.
Thank you.